Samurai.
Welcome to the home of Williams' Old Yeller Dogs. I am the Shogun, Andre Williams. Like, follow, and subscribe.
What? Hits! OP8! What? No, And what's up, bro? It's your boy Dre at Samurai Kennel. And today in the house, we got no more than the great, legendary, that doggone Decoy, Smoke in the building. What's good, Smoke?
How y'all doing?
Man,
YouTube
Smoke,
world. The YouTube
Smoke,
world.
let me jump in there real quick, Smoke. And also I want to say this. For those of y'all who don't know, Smoke has done interviews on some illustrious channels, man. And one of the most famous channels in the world with over 80,000 subscribers with Zeke on Documentary TV. He's been on there with a whole series of Bringing the Smoke. So without further ado, Smoke, go ahead and kind of give him a little background, but you already done this interview, so you already know what to do.
Well, I just been training dogs for about going on 28 years now. It's almost going in 30 years. So been working dogs, building dogs, training dogs. That's my passion. You know, from the decoy side first. From the decoy side, because I see a lot of people that's trainers turn into decoys, but I was a decoy before I was a dog trainer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, and so you did an amazing interview recently talking about the progression of becoming a dog trainer and a decoy. Your current dog, Zen, can you tell us a little about Zen?
Oh, he's a blessing. He's everything that the Lord, he answered all my prayers. When you have a relationship with the Lord and he genuinely knows what you want and what you need, he'll send it to you. And I think that the decoy, the skills and the knowledge I possessed, he knew I needed a dog to be the reflection of my style. And that dog is the epitome of my style. He is cut from a different type of stone, that's for sure.
For sure. Hey, man, so personally, I want to say this is an amazing opportunity for me to get this interview with you because, like I said, I've been following you for probably 12 to 13 years. And even when I started to reach out to you, I was like, man, I don't know about this, man. I'm certain he get harassed and there's a bunch of window shoppers and people knocking on the door. They ain't really going to follow through. And so I want to make sure I came correct. Yes, sir.
Man, that's to me. Because remember, I look at this like this is actually a blessing. My skill is a blessing. Go to a school. I didn't do, a lot of the, I guess what you consider apprenticeships that people are able to do now. I just was blessed. I came up in a time, and there was no social media when I came up, so you didn't have the opportunity to check out a lot of different people's skills. You would not know what this person was doing or that person, especially in other countries. So literally, this is a blessing that the Lord gave me to be able to work with dogs the way I do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, so you possess a quality that I look for in what I call my samurai. My followers, the samurai, right? The Shogun's army. And so one of those qualities you possess, I breed American Pit Bull Terriers. They call it gameness, but I like to call it heart. And I want to share a little excerpt from your last interview because I kind of want to show them what heart looks like in a person. It makes you worthy of the dog.
Yes.
Now you said that when you first got into it, you saw some of the older guys down the block. They were working dogs and protection back in the day.
Yes, sir.
And they let you go in there. And of course, they put some of their maulers, some of their
maulers. Yes, that's for sure.
But you said you came back. Why? That's what I'm trying to get at. Why did you go back?
It came because the life I was living before that was like in the streets. So in the streets, being a black man, I was looking for energy. Yeah. Now I was at a time I'm a teenager, I was putting myself in a position with a lot of negative energy in the sense of becoming a man, it's what a decent citizen should be. I wasn't living like that. So I was hooked on adrenaline, but negative adrenaline. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So I was hooked on that adrenaline that had me basically straight up combat, combat adrenaline. So then when I got in the suit and the sleeve, and I started getting the exact same rush, but I didn't have to hurt anybody, and nobody had to hurt me. I was hooked. I
Yeah.
was hooked.
So that's
I
a
was hooked.
that's a positivity thing right there, man. And
Positive, straight up.
I know. So my channel is pretty much geared toward the American Pit Bull Terrier, but that's not what we're talking about today. But I did want to bring up the fact that you had a red nose as your first dog, and I kind of
That was
want
my
to
first.
delve more into that. So were you doing protection work with your pit bull?
Yes, like he's the one that made me get started really, because when I started, it was for him. I
Yeah,
wanted to give him something. I looked at dog training and it was cool, but I wanted to give him something to do. I wanted him to have an activity. You know what I mean? So when I'm watching the trainers, I would take some of the things they wish they were doing across the field. I'm watching, I'll take, when it got to the bite work, I couldn't do that. And I could tell he wanted to bite. So once, I talked to the trainers and they was like, boom, you want to try your dog? I tried it. He took off.
yes,
He took off.
yes,
And it was him. And I started with a 5-year-old pit bull. I started all this dog, everything with not a puppy, not a year-old dog. He was 5 years old. So when I started, I'm in the puppy class. And
yeah,
all these dogs is puppies, and here they all looking at me like, what's this big old tough dude with a pit bull doing over here in the puppy class? I didn't feel right. But then by a year, 365 days, years later, we all the way in advanced protection. But that's because, he had the maturity to take everything we were showing him, and he just he picked it up and ran with it.
hey
So
man,
it
that's
was him. It was him that got me hooked, bro.
so you and I spoke offline about the bushi on your hat, or what we talk about, like the bushido schooling, right? And it's
Yes.
crazy that you say that, because that's one of the 8 laws is humility. You know what I'm saying? And you had to have the humility to start off down here and work your way
Yes.
up to the top. That's
Yes.
important.
And it worked. It showed me, because I realized that I had to humble myself in a genre that I had no clue what was going on. Me being who I was in the streets and whatever reputation, all that don't have nothing to do. None of that in the dog game. You got to start at the bottom. You have to learn accordingly. You can't just move up the ladder on a rocket. You got to climb that ladder. You got to climb that ladder. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, all right. So the way I want to kind of gear our interview today, Smoke, is I
Mhm.
kind of want to just talk about the natural progressions of the young. I'm gonna say young brothers, because that's what I am. That's what I identify with.
Yeah. Yes.
But in general, typically you gotta have to either be police, military, or somebody has to be in your family that can bless you into the game. So this,
Yes.
I like to govern my interviews for somebody who has the right qualities. They're a good person, but they don't have the mentorship, right? So we're gonna start very, very base level, and we'll even define some of the terms for them. And I'm talking about entry level, so basically puppy class. All right.
Yes.
So first question. Let's say I take a novice person, because I can get a dog up to what I would call a green dog, right? And a
Okay.
green dog is a dog that started, but it doesn't really have any structure to its training. It's just something that you can work with, right?
Yes, sir.
But let's go before that. So I'm a brand new person, and I go out, and typically what they're gonna cop is they're gonna cop a Dutchie or a Mally, or what I'm saying, or some kind of
Yeah.
Molosser.
Yeah.
All right. What's the first step? What's the first steps you're gonna tell them?
Get a leash. And not
All
no
right.
retractable leash. I'm just keep it 1,000.
Yes, sir.
Get a leash, not a retractable leash, and right behind that, get you a pinch collar.
Yes.
Those are the two things that I recommend on every dog trainer, dog handler, that leash and that pinch collar.
Yes, sir. Now, pardon me, but I want to make sure I break this down, because what I want to do is I want to skip those steps here.
Yep.
All right. So when you start off with that leash and that collar, basically what we started off is a little bit of compulsion training, but also a little bit of control, or like some balance to get on a baseline. That's my understanding. Can you elaborate upon that a little bit more?
That's the pinch collar is designed after the dog's mouth. We're only mimicking what the dog's mouth does. When dogs chastise each other in the wild, whether it be even in where, just out where there's no humans, they chastise each other by their teeth. Mothers, fathers, they chastise puppies on their neck with their teeth. So they've learned from an early age what not to do, why not to do it, and when not to do it, because of those corrections that happen around their neck with teeth.
Yes.
So we as humans, if we don't have anything to mimic that, we kind of like really shooting at stars, because that's what the dog understands.
Nice.
A lot of people say, I don't want to put that on a dog. It looks like it hurts them. I'm like, a dog bites them harder than this pinch collar ever would. And it's just a chastising. You know what I mean? So people have to realize, if you really want a dog, you need to mimic being alpha. And what alpha doesn't always have, it's not incorporating being nice.
Yes.
You have to keep structure there. That structure comes with some consequence.
Man, I'm glad you said that. Also, I would like to say that a lot of fur moms, because I have people that turn in that are tree huggers, fur moms, real dog people, and also people who think they dog people. But I would say you said something that was very crucial. You have to give them structure the way a dog understands structure.
That's it. They don't understand. Stop it. Cut it out. Leave it alone. There's none of that in the wild. And if it is a growl, or if it is a tone, it has already been placed. The neck, as with the correction, has let them understand. So now the dog might be able to growl, because he's already given the dog the consequence. So that they remember that growl after that grip, or that, when he corrects them. Now that growl means more the second time. The dog doesn't have to take it to a physical. You see what I'm saying? So the dogs equate behavior just as we do. They're mammals. I try to tell all people, clients, and anybody I'm dealing with, dogs learn exactly how humans learn, cause and effect. They're mammals. There is no difference. Our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, our cousins, people older than you teach you right from wrong. They structure your behavior. That's the same thing Alpha does, Omega does in the wild. The pack structures the dog's behavior. Or if the structure can't be, if the behavior can't be structured, they don't stay in that pack. You're ousted. Same thing we do in the society. If a family member, you can't do the way the rules work in his house, you got to go.
Facts.
It's just, you know what I mean? It's just as simple as that. We learn the same, mammals.
All right. And so like that's a great sentiment, but also I'm glad you said that. So basically, I'm gonna repeat this, because if anybody jumps into to our video later, I like to kind of give interim summaries about what we covered so far. So you already heard it. Basically, get you some way to communicate with your animal, and that's through your collar and your leashes. All right, point blank period, y'all. We just broke it down for y'all. That's a message, just like they do in Don't Be a Menace by drinking your juice in the hood. Like message.
Message. There's a message in it.
Yes, sir. All right. So, do you use any positive reinforcement like treats or anything like that? Or
definitely
phases? Yes, sir.
Of course, I'm laying foundation.
All right. And so, when you're selecting your treats, some people use their kibble. Some people weigh out half their dog's rations. Is there any suggestion you got for a novice person to make sure they don't overfeed and make sure the dog still has food drive at the end of the day?
I like to use something, especially if we talking about real small puppies.
Use
something that they can take in quick.
Yes.
String cheese, piece of hot dog.
Yeah.
But kibble is cool, but sometimes kibble, at a moment, the dog has to either chew it up, put it down, or it's trying to figure out how to take it in. And I don't want to miss no moments. That's why I like to use treats and things that can just right in and just take it down. And then also, dry kibble, sometimes when they get it, it get caught underneath their tongue, and they be trying to get it. Just doesn't keep the session smooth. Now, some people can use it. I just like to introduce more wet and moist treats, and it keeps the dog super focused. Last night's dinner, if you got leftover steak, Take the steak
Yes.
out. I'm gonna rinse all of the seasonings off of it, and under the sink, I'm gonna rinse all that off. Then I'm gonna just cut up little bits. What I love to do to really introduce a novice person and a novice puppy, takes your hot dogs, cut them up real small, and sear them off.
Yes. Yes.
As you sear them off, right before you go, take them out the pan. Let your dog be right there. Let the puppy be right there. Take some out of the pan and give it to the puppy or the dog. Now, when you go to the field, you go to the training facility or wherever you're at, now that dog, you done tricked that dog. That dog is thinking, I get to eat what you're eating. Because
Yes.
they always want to eat what we're eating.
Yes.
You got what I'm saying? So I don't feed my dog from the table. I don't do that. But now I can trick you and have you believing you get to eat what I'm eating just because I've just seared off some simple small hot dogs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, so that's crazy you say that, because hot dog is my favorite choice. I use beef hot dogs because I don't give my dogs no treats that I don't actually eat. You know what I'm saying? So, hey,
that makes simple
ain't nobody
sense.
got money to spend on extra stuff.
I never heard nobody say it like that, but that makes simple sense.
Yeah, because if I go to Aldi's, you know what I'm saying, or the store, I can go buy that long 18 pack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I take 3 or 4. You know what I mean? And but it's beef. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do a lot of the pork, but yeah, man, that's the move right there, big. I really appreciate you saying that. All right, so now the new person,
yes, sir.
Obviously, it goes without saying, but we can't leave this out here. You're gonna need medical care, because a dog that's not medically taken care of is not gonna perform the same way as a dog that's healthy, right? So
yes.
I've done shows about this, and I'm certain you inform your clients too. So we're not gonna really get into the medical side of this. That's for them to kind of figure out before they come to you. And I kind of like to leave some stuff open, so the person does some kind of research before they come to you, so they're serious about what they're getting into. But just get your dog medically taken care of in conjunction with this before you start training.
All right? Yes, definitely.
So this is the next thing that I noticed gets newer people, because I got this current. Luckily, I got a good dog like you did. My Malinois was a good dog, but the next dog I got was not. And so one of the things that happened was my Malinois, he just picked stuff up, sit down, stay,
quick,
retrieving. So I thought I was a great trainer. Then I get my first pit bull, like my first paper dog, and that dog did none of those things. Wasn't food driven, wasn't prey driven. I got discouraged in my ability to train. Okay. What would you tell a new trainer that's going through that phase? Because it's gonna happen if they deal with enough dogs.
It's never you. It's the dog. It's just like you might have 2 siblings. One is good at one sport and the other one don't want to do it, don't like it. That's just, and they're literally same parents, same household, they eat the same meal at the same time, but that's just it. So you have to realize that's not always your fault. Because every mammal, again, I'm gonna say it like that, every mammal learns different than the next mammal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So I didn't really want to get too much into the training thing, but I did want to give them a start. You know what I'm saying? Also, you say you take clients or whatever. So what I will do is basically I always promote people's businesses when they come on here. So just y'all heard it straight from Smoke himself. He takes clients when he has time. When he has time. Because we all busy people, and I'm not about to sit here and overload my brother, but I definitely plan on going out there and getting me some sessions in with him, even if I have to drive out to Cali from Tucson. So you will see us together on camera.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
Man, looking forward to it.
But now I'm about to broach the subject that everybody wants to know about, that nobody really knows unless you've had training on it. And that's what you said, you call it the blade riders.
I call it we blade riders. Decoys are blade riders.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's like dancing on a blade. It's like you can get cut. You can get cut if you dancing on the blade. So that's the way I've always looked at it. Like we riding the blade.
Yeah. Hey, matter of fact, you had a video maybe like 2 or 3 years ago where I think it was somebody's Dutchie had got you. Somebody's Dutchie had got you like right in the jaw, if I'm not mistaken. Was that you?
Are you talking about on my old post? You just saw like where he got me right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got grabbed right here before. That was French ring dog.
Yeah. Hey,
that was a French ring dog. You want to hear what happened?
I do, but I want to ask you a question. Would you say that was a nasty dog or just bad targeting?
Oh no, it just he's a good dog.
Yeah.
And I'm really not proficient in that exercise.
Yeah.
And he showed me I wasn't. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It was nothing personal. It was clean. He didn't hurt, like he hurt me, but he didn't mean to hurt me. I put myself in that position.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes. So
No,
I want to get
without a doubt, I put myself in that position.
we're gonna get into that one. I do want to hear this story, but I kind of want to, because I don't know if you use that terminology. I learned this from some pressing guys I was working with, but they had clean dogs, like you're talking about. They had dogs that were nasty.
Clean. No, he was clean. No, the dog was clean. Super clean.
The bicep and would come out the bicep, counter in, and go. You know, you'd have to roll your shoulder.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
that dog yeah. So is that the same terminology you use in your
for
clean
sure,
versus nasty
for sure,
dogs? Okay,
for sure, yeah. Because like I always tell people, Zen is clean. He's
yeah,
not dirty.
Yeah.
That is the terminology for sure.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about a bad catch on his part.
And he's gonna make you like you said, present, but like, and he's gonna make he might flinch at your hand. He might, if he's on the table where he might bark at your face, but he's never had that foundation. And if I corrected that stuff so long ago, there is no muscle memory or no gratification or satisfaction of him grabbing your face, your neck. He doesn't get any satisfaction there. So him biting you there is not where he's looking to grab you and do any damage. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man. So I do want to hear that story, because now you piqued my interest.
Quick, right? I can just quick.
Yes,
well,
sir.
I was working on a basket exercise with the dog. And I haven't done a lot of basket. This is French ring. I haven't done a lot of basket work with the dog. So when I went to grab the basket, I reached with my right hand. Now I'm thinking all this. As I threw my left shoulder at the dog, thinking that he's gonna come and grab it, I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to pull it back. He's gonna chase it, and I'll be able to skeeve him. But when I did that, I didn't realize I tucked my neck into my jacket like this. So when he grabbed me, he grabbed the bottom two fangs into my chin, and the top two canines into my chin, and the bottom canines into the jacket. So he literally had the collar of my jacket and my face like this.
Yeah.
And see, a good French ring dog like he is, he's letting you know, I'll grab you on the borderline. That's not being dirty.
Yeah.
I just have my face way too close to the borderline. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And when I turned and I stopped for the moment, and this is all happening in super matrix slow motion, I look down and I'm thinking the dog's not on the ground. And then I'm like, well, where is he? And I'm looking and I realize he's attached to my face.
Yes.
And I didn't even have time to really yell out. But the guy who was handling him, now my back is to him. So he couldn't see the dog biting me. So that's a whole nother thing. So once he kind of realized I'm standing still, the dog's not on the ground. And when I guess he saw when my hands went up to my face to get the dog, he just outed the dog, and the dog outed clean. Boom. He didn't shake. That was the blessing.
Yes.
That he didn't shake. And he didn't, he just bit. And it was he had my face on him. He had it for about 4 seconds.
Yeah.
He was, and then, like I said, I had the 2 puncture marks dead in my chin and 2 right in the collar of the coat.
Hey, so you know what's crazy about that? Because like when you take a bite like that, I don't know if it's like that for you, but typically your adrenaline's so high, you don't even feel it at first.
You don't feel it. I didn't even, dude. I literally was like, wait a minute, why is the dog? Why he ain't on the ground guarding? You know what I mean? Yeah. I had enough time to think. That, and then I realized, whoa. And when I lifted, kind of, I guess in that little slight, when I moved my head, he came with me, and I was like, wow, he's attached to my face.
Blade rider for real, big dog. Blade rider for real.
Yeah, for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, and I hadn't done a lot of basket work. And then I think this happened 4 years ago. So,
yes, sir.
Like I said, it wasn't in my younger days in the suit. You know, and that type of work, it's for the seasoned, it's for the quick, the young, and the experienced, no question.
So let me give you this. Let me get this
Yes.
from you, because this is where I'm at. And this is, like I told you, I'm going to ask these questions based on novice or green, but I'm green when it comes to the decoy side of things.
Yes, sir.
I've only had on the suit a handful of times, and every time they walk the dog into the bites. I haven't done any fleeing catches. I don't
Come
even
on
do
down.
anything with it.
You
Yeah,
on the Price is
absolutely.
Right. Come on down.
So I did one, and I'll share the story with you real quick, and then I'm gonna start getting into the greenhorn stuff. But I caught a 125-pound presser to a tricep bite running, and she flipped me, and I could have really injured this dog if she was.
I need another one. I'ma roll it up and I light it up. I need another one. So put some more in my cup. I just need another one. I'ma roll it up and I light it up. I need another one. So put some more in my cup. I just need another one. 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 I just need another one.